Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Right, I've just watched quite a head-scratching interview with big Baby Jarrell Miller on the Boxing Voice. I don't know whether this is one of the Boxing Voice's usual big, long interviews and they chop it up into bits like confetti, spread it out across the internet. Why? For more views. I don't know if that's the case. But anyway, this particular one that they've done with Miller, Ness asked him about Dillian Whyte. Because Dillian Whyte said that Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, they're fighting each other when both of them had the opportunity to fight him, as in Dillian Whyte, and they turned it down. Deontay Wilder's been turning down Dillian Whyte for a long, long time, even though he's the #1 WBC. So, and massive money as well. The latest one was $8 million, and he turned it down. Tyson Fury said that he wasn't ready for that kind of level fight against someone like Dillian Whyte. He wanted a few journeymen to ease himself back in after all that time out of the ring, all the weight gain and all that kind of stuff. But then he turns around and then accepts a fight with Deontay Wilder. So unless Tyson Fury sees Deontay Wilder as some kind of journeyman or bum kind of level, it's a bit of a head scratcher. So anyway, that's why Dillian Whyte said that. So he considered them two as ducking him, which ultimately I suppose they have, right? But what's interesting though is that Miller said that Dillian Whyte, he needs to sit down and go eat some jerk chicken or something. I think that's what he said. I'm not even too sure what the hell jerk chicken is. But he said that Dillian Whyte turned down fights himself, such as Kubrat Pulev. Now, for those who don't know the story, I'll give you guys a quick overview of it. And you guys might be scratching your head also as to why big Baby Jarrell Miller said this. Now, I like Miller. I think he's funny. He's a good fighter. He's a problem for any heavyweight right now. And he's good for boxing. I like him. Ultimately, I love to see Dillian Whyte versus Jarrell Miller. First of all, Miller has turned down Dillian Whyte on numerous occasions. Okay, so there's that first one. But going back to the whole Kubrat Pulev one. So that's the bit that really stuck out in this interview with me. Is that Miller said that Dillian Whyte turned down Kubrat Pulev. Of all the people in the world to say that, Miller said that. So, the backstory of that is Dillian Whyte was given an opportunity to fight Kubrat Pulev, just like Hughie Fury is right now, for the IBF mandatory position, the title or one of the titles that Anthony Joshua holds. Dillian Whyte would have got 25% and had to go to Bulgaria to become mandatory. So first of all, that 25% for me is gash, considering that Dillian Whyte is ranked higher than Kubrat Pulev across all sanctioning bodies. As the first one, so therefore Dillian Whyte shouldn't have only got 25%. It should have been minimum 50-50, but this is the IBF for you. Now, within that 25%, due to the purse bid, Dillian Whyte would have only got about 300 grand. So 300 grand to go to Bulgaria as well, and to fight Kubrat Pulev in a dangerous fight, let's be real, for mandatory position that he doesn't need, okay? He's #1 in the WBC, and he's ranked high enough to be fighting Joshua anyway. And guaranteed a fight with Joshua at some point anyway, because Joshua wants Dillian Whyte wants Joshua, Eddie Hearn wants that fight also. The British boxing fans want that fight, massive super fight. Now, he turned down Pulev because he doesn't need to be mandatory. 300 grand for what? There was no point to it. But he didn't just do that and then go fight some Joe Bloggs. No. He went in there and he fought Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, who'd only lost one fight, which happened to be the fight before against Anthony Joshua, being the first person to go the distance with Anthony Joshua in a unification heavyweight title fight. Joseph Parker was the WBO World Heavyweight Champion. He lost that fight on the distance, and people like Wilder and Miller said that they felt Joseph Parker won that fight. So again, they have to say that Dillian Whyte did a better job on Joseph Parker than what Anthony Joshua did, right? But no matter that, Dillian Whyte made over £1 million in this fight. It was pay-per-view. It was a super fight. It was a massive fight. And one hell of a step up. More dangerous than Kubrat Pulev. Okay, so you can kind of see the reasons why Dillian Whyte would turn it down. For a mandatory position he didn't need. 300 grand to go to Bulgaria, and he's already guaranteed a fight with Anthony Joshua anyway. He's already #1 in the WBC, and for the fact that he had a big fight against a bigger, better opponent in Joseph Parker for a hell of a lot more money, okay? And Joseph Parker was ranked by the WBC Kubrat Pulev was not. So what's interesting about that is that Miller said that. Miller, of all people, who had the latest opportunity to be fighting Kubrat Pulev for exactly the same, for the IBF mandatory position. Big Baby Jarrell Miller turned it down, but whereas Dillian Whyte was only going to get 300 grand, Miller would have got 500,000, 500 grand to go there, because the purse bid was higher from Epic Sports and Entertainment. So Miller was going to get about 200 grand more than what was offered originally to Dillian Whyte. But yet, Jarrell Miller turned down 500,000. It still would have been in Bulgaria. So he turned down 500,000. He's not number one in WBC or number one anywhere else. And the fact that he's not going to be fighting somebody bigger, more dangerous than Kubrat Pulev, because he's actually going to be fighting Tomasz Adamek next. Tomasz Adamek, who? Right. Tomasz Adamek, his best years were probably 10 years ago, to be honest, when he was at cruiserweight. That was probably his best time. So he turned down Pulev for $500,000 and to become the IBF mandatory for Joshua, a fight that Miller keeps saying he wants Joshua. I want Joshua. I want Joshua. I want to beat that English muffin, as he calls him. But yet, Miller, you had the ideal opportunity here to fight Anthony Joshua. All you had to do was go to Bulgaria, get your $500,000 and become the IBF mandatory. Joshua cannot turn you down. This fight would have happened. But you said, no, I don't want to go to Bulgaria. I don't want $500,000. In fact, I want to make a fraction of that to fight in Chicago against Tomasz Adamek. A fight that does nothing for your career, financially or ranking-wise. Again, likewise with Miller, he calls out the WBC champion, Deontay Wilder. But yet he's not even ranked by the WBC. He should be, but he's not. But the reason that he's not is because he's not part of the WBC clean boxing program. He's not part of VADA. So again, why are you calling out Wilder? You can't have that fight. Why are you calling out Joshua when you have an opportunity to go fight Pulev to become the mandatory? It's not like you're guaranteed a fight with Joshua anyway. No. You're going to go fight Tomasz Adamek. Tomasz Adamek. Not only that, you are given an opportunity to fight Dillian Whyte in December time. No. I don't want Dillian Whyte, is what you said. I want Manuel Charr. Manuel Charr, the WBA regular heavyweight champion. It is a world champion, on paper at least, anyway. It is a legitimate world title. But that fight doesn't guarantee you a shot at Joshua. It doesn't. Unless the WBA call the regular and the super champion to fight together. They've been talking about it for 3 years, but have yet to do it. So Miller turning down Pulev is hell of a lot worse than what Dillian Whyte did. So it just makes me laugh that Miller said this about Dillian Whyte turning down Pulev. Of all the people in the world, he needed Pulev. He needed to become mandatory. Dillian Whyte didn't. So anyway, that is what it is. You drop your thoughts about all that. Drop them below, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.